Hi everyone. Hi, how are you? Hello, hello. Hi. Nice to see you all. Hope you're all well. And hello. Hi from Bombay. Sadir, how are you doing? So tonight this is our workshop to learn a little bit about the tarot cards. And so we've got tarot by Española Julissa. Hi there, how are you doing? Lovely to see you. Thank you for coming on. This is our workshop for tarot cards. It's not about live readings. I do that on Fridays. So it's lovely to have you here, and I hope that you'll stay with me to learn a little about the tarot. Hi, Jean Marie, how are you doing? So it's lovely to see you. We've got quite a few people here tonight. This is wonderful. I've popped on because I've got my equipment working and the internet's working. So it's like, let's go for it and see if we can actually get this workshop done this week before we come up to. Oh, that's so lovely of you. Thank you, Sidir. It's lovely to have you, and thank you so much for your lovely, kind words. You're eyeing and listening. Wonderful. Okay. So far, so good. Nice to see you again. Greetings from Peru. Oh, it's lovely if you tell me where you're all from. So we have Sudhir from Bombay. I think we've got Peru with I'm going to say it as I want to actually pronounce it, Jalisa. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Death card tonight. Yes, we've got the death card, Jean Marie. The death card. So let's jump straight in with no further ado and start talking about our death card, seeing as we've got people from Bombay and Peru and United States. I think you're in Florida, aren't you, Jean Marie? And yeah, it's lovely to have you all with me. So, our death card. Here we've got the picture of the death card, and this is a card that's working in conjunction with the astrological sign of Scorpio. So, if you know any Scorpios, think about that Scorpio, what their mannerisms, what you feel when you're around them, what they remind you of, what you think of, something that happened when you were with them. You're an hour from Orlando. Lovely, Jean Marie. I hope the weather's fine. It was a real mix here today. went up to 30, would you believe, but icy cold in the mornings, which is wonderful to have the seasons and bright days. So think of someone that you know that is Scorpio, if you know a Scorpio. If not, go and study somebody that's a Scorpio. There's plenty of famous people that I could actually say to you, go in and Google them and find out what Scorpio is all about. So if you know a little bit about somebody who is a Scorpio, it helps you identify with any cards in the tarot that belong to Scorpio. That's one of the biggest tricks. Okay, you've got to be able to go, right, I know a Scorpio and they are X, Y, and Z. And this is what they're like in such a situation. They tend to be very loving creatures. They tend to be very generous. They are intense. They go all in. They go into the depth of everything. They don't do things by halves. And they are a water sign, and we are in the time of Scorpio right now. Of course, not for long, but we are in Scorpio. So, what does the death card mean? Everyone goes, oh my goodness me, I've got the death card, or what the heck is going on? Simply, it means a death of the old self. It's not a physical death, and it's not a death of the future. So, tarot cards cannot predict somebody's death. There are certain things that we are not that clever or not meant to know those kind of things. And who the heck wants to know that? Quite simply, no, you cannot predict the death. People will say they can. Well, you know what? No, it's quite simply, it's about change. Okay, so it's about letting go and natural ending, getting rid of an old skin, shedding it, you know. I went through a massive transformation, and that's also what this card means, going through transformations. Went through a transformation when I changed jobs, when I changed houses, when I moved countries, when I studied something, when I went up and down like a yo-yo with my weight, when I got another decade older. I'm sure we have all got the same things that happen to us, where we go through changes, where we go from one relationship into another. I'm going to ask you to excuse me for a moment, because you can believe me, I've still got that cold. 3.5 weeks afterwards, I'm still got a cold. So I've got some hot coffee. Please excuse me. I hope you're having your hot coffee or tea or whatever it is. Cheers. Right. So it's a card of very big changes. So it's where we're going through a change, and we are letting go and shedding something of ourselves, maybe moving on in life, such as a job or a house move, neighborhood, moving to a new state, new country, new friends coming in, new people in our life. And it's the shedding of the old self while we go through that. So it's a transformation. Okay, it can be going from being a student and becoming qualified and getting your graduation or your exam results or qualifying for something. So it's getting rid of something. Sometimes it's a pleasant thing. Sometimes, of course, it's adapting to changes that are not so great. Perhaps where we have emotionally let go of someone or something. Maybe they're still on the planet, but they don't want to see us. They don't want to be our friend. They don't want to be in a relationship with us anymore. You know, it could be sad as well, of course. So letting go of the old self is what the death card is. Now, I know that a lot of people are struggling with reading the tarot cards because there's so many different meanings it can be. And a lot of people use their intuition. And of course, I want you to do both. Okay, because if you've got some meanings, you're going to have more confidence in your own ability to say, well, I'm definitely picking up on something and I'm going to say it. You'll feel it. But if you've got something of the meanings, it's going to help you. Now, what I do want to talk about, and you hear me talk about this here and there, but I'm going to come in with quite a whammy, is to say a single card on its own can make you feel very lost. Okay, but for the purpose of our workshop, we are going through individual cards, okay, so that we know what they mean and we talk about what they feel like. You know, what does it remind you of when you look at that card? Well, you know, do you pay attention to the sunshine that's peeking up there in the background? You know, in between the towers in the background? Do you see the greenery? Do you see the horse? Do you see our armed rider who is in, you know, like a knight costume there, suit of armour? But we've also got the skull, okay? Do you see the flag? Do you see the black in the flag? Do you see the way he's holding it? Do you see whether the horse is moving gracefully or standing still or galloping? Obviously, it's not, you know, it's elegant, you know, almost like a dressage sort of type energy going on with that elegance of the horse. And what you see on the horse's brace, you see all sorts of different things. That's why the Rider-Waite deck helps you so much, because there's a lot of symbology in the cards that you could pick up on. You might see the colours, you can see people there, you can see the children, okay? You can see somebody lying down, you can see the instrument there, you can see the crown that's fallen from the person that's laid down. So that looks like a king with his crown laid on the floor. You may actually see the earth there. You might see the puddle that's going on in the background there. You might see what looks like a pope, somebody wearing, you know, a papal sort of mitre, hat. You know, you might see the gowns. You know, you might see the red plumage that's coming out of his helmet. You see? There's so much there. What's going on there? You might see the children. Okay? So the symbology of change and how it affects all of us. And change affects all of those people, whether you're a king, whether you're a religious figure, whether you're a child, whether you are, you know, a knight, whether you are the horse, you know, even the greenery will die off. Too much sun, not enough water, these kind of things. So there's a lot of symbology in the Rider-Waite. And it's going, well, what does it mean? When you read in pairs, you are able to get that secondary card, which you can call, you know, a clarifier or a, you know, a significator. Absolutely, Pamela Coleman Smith's art is brilliant in all the decks that she. Well, she made this deck and she did lots of other work as well. And she didn't get the credibility until way too late, but we love it, and the symbology is so rich and can give you so much. And I've got some other cards here to show you, some of the death cards, and we'll be doing the Temperance card this evening, and to show you that they're beautiful and they can speak to you and they can mean things. But if you are really looking at being able to be a good tarot reader, I think the symbology that is offered to you in the Rider-Waite deck, where your teacher and your fellow students are all reading from the same hymn sheet, really does help to be able to connect all the dots together. And then you can go on and use lovely decks and enjoy your decks, you know. And sometimes you might go, okay, well, I really like enjoying that for me, and I meditate on it, or I see this, or I see that. That's exactly what it's about. Getting started, I think that we could miss out on some more simplified decks. And, you know, I created a very simple deck, and, you know, you might just see this, that, and the other. There's not that much going on in it. Okay, there is, but not by the way that you've got the Rider-Waite, okay? So it's the passage from one state to another, like I said, maybe going from being a student into being somebody that's qualified. A natural end. I'm no longer a student. Oh, crikey, I'm terrified. I'm going to work, you know? Or maybe you're kicking a bad habit. We all can be guilty of that one and need to be able to kick a bit of a bad habit, can't we? And the death card symbolism tells you that all endings link to something new. It's a new beginning. From even the smallest things that happen throughout your life, it will transform you in small or larger ways. Okay, so you might make some life-changing decisions as a result. You know, so tiny things can happen. You know, I'm sure we've all gone, crikey, I would never have done X if I hadn't have gone to Y, and Z had taken me along there, you know? these kind of things. You know, I remember many times in my life where it does feel like it's a bit like chance, but in actual fact, it was all lining up, you know, and all you've got to do is your part and say, okay, here's the action. I'm going to toddle along and see what it's all about. Yeah, okay, I'll go for it. I'll do the work. And that's when you get transformation and change. Obviously, sometimes things are transformed by other people's actions or things that happen, things that we have no control over whatsoever, and they are the toughest. And that's where we need to have empathy and compassion for those that it affects, or indeed for ourselves. Okay, so I'm going to move on to our next card. If anybody wants to ask a question, I'll give you a moment. Actually, I'll have a sip of coffee. It'll be cold otherwise. Any questions, anybody? Does anybody want to ask about the Death card? So, dear, let me ask you, are you actually enjoying learning about the tarot? Yeah? Because it goes on and on and on and on and on. We're all learning all of the time. I know that Jean Marie does, and I believe that Tarot, Julissa, is a tarot reader. It's lovely to have you along. So, I will move on because I don't have any questions. So there we go, my darlings. We are now on to Temperance. Look at that. I love this card. So much for me in this card. Let's talk about what it works in conjunction with. You're enjoying, but can I ask you a query? Of course you can. Go ahead. Ask me, Sadir. Please do. Jean Marie, I don't know. I'll leave that to you. If you're saying it's a no and a yes or no, that's good. It's good. Okay. Yes, ask me a query, of course, Sadir. So I'm waiting for you to type, and I will actually continue with the Temperance, and you can always watch the playback. There is a little internet delay in streaming, so I'll wait for you. Okay. Right. Temperance works in conjunction with, sorry, I was just reading Jean Marie's comment. Temperance works in conjunction with the astrological sign of Sagittarius. So this is a card for international travel and long distance travel. So that's not local or national. So if you live in the States and this comes up, it's not about kind of going, okay, well, I'm just going around the corner, going from sort of Florida to Texas or New York to sort of California. Yeah, it's much more, I know that is a long distance, but it's much more sort of like crossing into a new country. Okay, so it doesn't always mean that, of course, you know, these are subtle meanings, and it's your other card that's going to help you. Yeah, and it's going to clarify to you exactly that. Minor card will tell you exactly what's going on. Okay, is there a new relationship? So dear, can you come back on Friday and ask me that question? I'm very, very happy to answer that for you. But because I'm not actually pulling cards and I'm just giving you the meanings, I am more than happy. Friday GMT 6:30. Okay, and that's when I can answer that question for you. But more than happy to do that. It's just that I need to stick to the workshop because I can't magic cards up in the air and I haven't got them ready. Okay, I've got cards to actually show. But absolutely, I will answer that for you on Friday. No problem, Sadir. More than happy. But you must repeat the question because do you know what? I won't remember. Okay, my darling, you be sure. I tell you what I'd like you to do, Sadir, as well. If you can give me your star sign and the star sign of the person you're asking about, okay, and you want to move on, so I will answer that. The more you can give me about your star sign and theirs, don't do it now. Make sure that when you come up, just say, ask the question, I am X, she is Y, and this is what I wanted to know. So happy to do that for you. Anybody that's listening, yeah, live's on Friday Ask a Question from the tarot, where I work with pairs. So if you're in this group and you're learning a little bit here, come on and have a live reading and see how pairs work, and how, if you want to learn with me further, then how I will teach you pairs and how that all works. So, international travel. Now, how do you remember that? Look at this particular card, or any Rider-Waite deck. You can see the angel has wings. Air travel, okay? Straight away. See the wings in our card as air travel. Also, it's a card of higher learning, of evolving, of going along and going through and evolving and receiving and growing as a human being, as a spirit, okay? And temperance is about having one foot firmly on land whilst gently testing the new waters. So you can see that, you know, our angel, in some cases, this is known as our archangel, okay? And our archangel indeed does have one foot on land and toes in the water, just telling us that we are mixing and blending between two states, you know, between grounded, being earthed, and between the emotional state, okay? But also it's about making sure, sorry folks, I've just had my Restream sort of pop up here, right across my face. I know you can't see that, crikey, here we go, bear with me. Okay, I want to get rid of that, but it won't. Okay, so mixing and blending everything in moderation, but having one foot firmly on land and testing new waters. So it's a bit like saying, right, I'm going to go into this new job, but I am going to do it of an evening or of a weekend, and I'm going to keep my day job, and I'm going to see how this goes. I did that, you know, when I made a transition between a nursery nurse and becoming a driving instructor. I kept my day job and I just did a few lessons in the evening after I finished as a nursery nurse. I booked a couple of lessons, built up my clients like that, got used to it. So I wasn't kind of feeling that, oh my gosh, what have I done? And it was a very gradual way of, then I'll go into the weekends. So yes, I was working 7 days a week, but didn't feel like it when you swap, wearing one hat to another. And then gradually, a year later, when I'd accumulated the clients and I felt I got my feet firmly on the ground, boom, I made that transition. And I left nursery nursing and went into being a driving instructor all those years ago. Okay, so mixing and blending everything in moderation. Well, I think we all know what that means. Don't have too many sort of glasses of whatever it is. You know, even if it's not alcohol, you know, you can drink too much water and feel, oof, too much, the pressure, you know. Or we can eat too much, can't we? Or we can socialise too much, or we can work too much. All of those. Now, again, if you're reading in pairs, your second card would tell you what's going on there. Maybe it is about things in moderation, that you're doing well, or that you're kind of losing it a little bit, and, you know, watch out because you're working too hard, or you're eating too much, or you're drinking too much, or you're spending too much money, or whatever it is, okay? Air travel, we mentioned that. It's a kind of socialising. So it's about eating and drinking. So quite often, you know, this comes up in a reading, and you'll see that somebody is actually thinking about wanting to go into being a restaurateur, or the hotel, or they are looking at travel agency, or, you know, something like that. Or they are bed and breakfast, or guest house, or a publican, or a hotelier, all those kind of things. Okay, so it's lovely. Or it can mean, you know, you're going to socialise and eating and drinking. Okay, that comes from the cups. All right, so you've got that going on there. It's also about mixed cultures. Again, quite often in a reading, come up, and let's say a court card comes up as the second card, and the second card is a court card, and let's say it's King of Swords or something like that. You'll see that that's an aspect of a person. So if we had Temperance and say a court card like the King of Swords, it would tell us that this person is quite sociable, you know, that possibly they come from international background, and maybe they speak different languages. You see? So it all starts to come together. Now, if it wasn't a court card and it was something like Ace of Cups, might be that that person is going to have a new emotional beginning with somebody that either works in that industry or comes from abroad. Something it's telling you, okay? Cultures and Sagittarius always think international, always think about learning. It's lovely, okay? It's a healing card, okay? Fluidity, things going on there. Finding the middle ground, moderation. Integration of opposites, mixing oil and water, getting them to mix. Well, they don't do that, but bringing them together and integrating them. Tempering something, it's a bit like sort of here we've got some honey, and they fortify the honey by adding resin from the pine tree. And hi, oh bless you, Limix Games, thank you so much for that. Absolutely love to have you along here. Thank you for your very kind comments. Lemix is saying, great stream as always. Thank you so much. Lovely. I really do enjoy your feedback, because if I know what's working for you, I can give you more and keep doing it. And if I know it's not working, then we can get rid of it and make some modifications. A bit like moderation for our Temperance card. So integration of opposites, tempering something, making it stronger, tempered glass, it's stronger. Making something, I was talking about the honey, sorry, they mix the honey with the resin that comes from the pine tree. The pine trees here in Turkey and in Greece, I believe, they have resin that comes from the actual tree. And that resin that comes from the tree is very good for respiratory, okay? So they add that to the honey, and you can buy honey called pine honey. And if you look on, I'm not advertising, but obviously somewhere like Amazon, okay, where you are able to kind of get that kind of universal, international sort of postage to be able to get something you may not be able to get in your own environment, you can get this pine honey. It's excellent for respiratory conditions. So we can fortify, okay? It's like having a tonic, isn't it? A medicine where they give you a bit of a pick-me-up, the doctor would call it. So it's probably some vitamins fortified with X, Y, and Z. Temperance, mixing and blending. Love it. Think of cooking. That's exactly. So again, can you see why it might be that people that are in food and drink or hotels, okay? You need to make more detailed tarot description on the cards so you can learn more. You are doing an amazing job. To make a more detailed tarot description on all the cards. Okay. I would run out of space, and I'm just doing it as a workshop so that people don't have to remember too much. My course, the mix, is exactly like that. Okay. And so that is something that you can go in deeper. So this is people that's just wanting to do exactly what the Temperance card is doing, which is tiptoeing. Okay, see if I like it. People are overwhelmed by it, and it's like it's an acquired skill. Take your time, enjoy it. Take the bits that you want to remember, and then just stop and go, right, just going to go with that. That's enough for now, and then come back to it. But my courses offer that. And my courses are available on my website, okay? So you're more than welcome to actually watch those, and they're all recorded, so you can watch it in your own way. Love to get free class into tarot. Not rich, man. It's honestly, it really is not a problem. You come along here and join in here, see what you want. But my courses are really cheap. They're a bundle, they're an investment for you. And so I've made sure that people can just join them. There's tarot courses out there. When I was learning my tarot course, I can tell you, it was £200 for 10 lessons, and that is 30 years ago. That was then. And there was 10 of us. And the teacher had us in a small room. She was going ka-ching, 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 because she had a beginners, one evening, intermediate, and she had advanced. Okay, and so there's loads of ways we can turn around and do. There's loads of ways we can do bits and pieces here so you get the grasp of it. There's enough here. By the way, do not forget that you can download these worksheets, and I've kept them to bullet points because do you know what? When you go into too much detail when you're beginning, you get lost. I'm never going to remember it, puts you off. My whole point here is, boom, let's just go for it. Let's just get the bullet points, listen to what I'm saying, ask the questions. I'd love you all to sort of turn around and go, what does this mean? What does that mean? But I do understand I'm only here for a few minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, and you're listening, okay? So you can always ask, yeah, absolutely, like tempering an egg. Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. It's also, as I said, the integration of opposites, joining in with others, and finding the right mix, mixing two elements to make a third. You agree? You're always looking, listening, and appreciate the work you do. Oh, bless you. Thank you very much. Look and listen. I totally get that. But if you just say, hi, Anne-Marie, I know you're there. It's so nice. And, I did this, oh gosh, over a year ago. I did a very basic one. And people went wild for it. I used to do it Monday mornings, and they were all asking me to do it. So I went off, and this is where I made the courses. So the feedback from the freebies helped me make the courses. And you see, I can't be available to do it all the time because I've got to do readings. Now, uh, uh, so, hi, no, you don't have to apologise. I just love that. Oh, I've got lovely comments coming in here from XX Sylvie. Not at all, not at all. I just love to know that you're there. It's like everything. If you get feedback, and it's not about, look, for me, I have clients. I've got clients every day, and honestly, it can be coming out of my ears, and I enjoy that. But I love doing this as well. And so this is where I temper. I teach and I read. Okay? And because I kind of went solo, went on my own from the big company that I was working for and founded. I went solo 2 years ago. It's been a slow journey, but I'm also feeling my way and going, right, I'm going on my own. I had 250 psychics working with me. But it was like time to go on my own because we started to go in different directions and I wanted to do more of my own thing. And that was more YouTube, and they weren't too happy about that. They wanted me there reading. And it's like, no, I want to do different things. So I thank them and I still go along and help them out, and that's fine. But I've got it coming out of my ears, and it's like, no, 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 no. I want to do a little bit of this, and love teaching, love interacting, and I know how magical it was for me to go to tarot school. I was lucky, believe it or not. It was like, gosh, I think it was about 3 miles away from where I lived. My only difficulty was to make sure that I was available at 7 o'clock on either Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, depending on whether I was in beginners, intermediate, or advanced class, to make sure that I was there, finished work, dashed from one side of London to the other because I worked elsewhere to where I lived. And it was just meant to be, absolutely meant to be. And I met such fantastic people. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. Sure, Tarot with Anne-Marie. Okay, Limix. Have a look. Can you see Can you see me on here? Can you see Tarot with Anne-Marie? That's me. Okay, and then if you look, you've got YouTube.com Tarot with Anne-Marie. I'm on Twitter there. I've put it on this PDF for you. If you want worksheets, just write to me. hello@tarotwithanne-marie.com, and I'll send them to you for free. You can go on my website and you can see the PDF as an e-flip book. But if you want your own copy, write to me. Yours are white, mine is purple. Believe or hope you have all the cards I can. Well, you know, the other thing, you can turn around if we've all been pressed for cash. My heart goes out to you. Okay, come on Friday and have a Friday 6:30 GMT. I talk GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. 6:30, or I do free readings. Come and have free readings. Come and meet some lovely people here. Tony, no, Anthony Pipe there, my hubby, has just said, I nearly gave up. Yes, I did. He's talking about when I used to rush back from my tarot school. And I'll tell you why. Do you want to hear this, folks? Come on, you've got to say yes or no before I continue. It's a funny story, but you know, if you want to know, I'll share it with you. I did nearly give up. Okay. With the tarot cards Limerick's games, you can use the PDFs and cut them out, stick them on a bit of card. I've done all that kind of thing. Okay. Victor, oh, found you, Anne-Marie Limix here. Hi, you come on there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, you want to know? Okay. Right. Danny said no, but I'm going to tell you, okay? What happened was every week there was 10 of us. We were in this small room and it was lovely. And we had the teacher and she didn't have much of personality. She used to just be excellent at giving us that information, but very straight-faced. Okay, next. But her information was so fantastic. She was the best. But she was quite detached from us, if you know what I mean. She wasn't particularly a warm person, but she was so good. So good. And I was so, so lucky and happy. But dashing off and finishing work probably 2 hours before the class began so that I could get there and allow for traffic jams, and took an hour home at the best of times, but coming home earlier, I'd embark upon traffic. So there was that. But there was somebody every week in that group that actually used to manage to get our teacher's attention. And she'd go, I don't understand the devil card. Can we go over it again? Every single week for 3 years. And every week the teacher would say, okay, and we'd go off on a tangent for half an hour. And I was so hungry to soak all the other cards up instead of just going on about the devil. But it taught me something, and that's that people sometimes do have a card that they go, gosh, I don't get it. A lot of people say it's the Hierophant. Tell me what yours. You want to learn even more. Victor, it's amazing. Okay? And there is so much. And, you know, I'm coming up here. I used to do it on Monday mornings, and you know what? People used to watch the replays, but I got a lot of feedback. I thought if I came on a little bit later, around about this time, I'd get more people that were available through, you know, America and different places. So, you know, I think that sort of 9 o'clock Monday mornings GMT is, sorry, I've got an itch, not great for everybody. So I hope this is working better. If it is, it's great if you tell me. So if you want to learn even more, yeah, it absolutely, you know, especially if you learn the astrological signs that go with these cards. Think of who you know. Who do you know that's Saggy? Who do you know that's Sagittarius? Gosh, in our family, there's plenty of them. Not on my side, but actually on the in-laws, you know, got lots of Sagittarius. And what are they like, you know? That, yeah, this is definitely better. Okay, lovely. So think of somebody. Start, if you don't know somebody, go and find somebody who is a Scorpio or a Sagittarius, okay, as it is with, and then when you look at the death card, see that person, you know, a brother-in-law and sister-in-law are Scorpios. When it comes to Temperance, thinking of Sagittarius, Well, my first crush was a Sagittarius, and Tony's daughter-in-law is Sagittarius, and it goes on and on and on through the in-laws. Oh, it's so nice of you to say, Jean Marie. Well, you see, if we just kind of like look at it as in just X, you're not going to get, it's the depth. And it's the depth that I just adore. And it's the depth of being able to actually see those meanings in the cards and then the feelings. And when I read for people, the first thing I'll say to them is, she starts saying, darling, what do you want to know? Okay, we've only got 20 minutes, boom, let's go. Or we've only got an hour, boom, let's go. And they extend and extend and extend. Why? Because I put so many cards out and I piece it all together and I follow it like a map. And I can teach you to do that, but that's on the courses. On the workshops, we can do this, and we can do pairs, and we can do lives, that's it, free readings. Why? Because it's nice to give something back, and I would love you to all subscribe, share, so that other people, it's nice, it's free, isn't it? We all want something. It doesn't mean it's. I know people value things more when they pay for it, but I also know there are people that can't afford it. And that's a shame. And we all love books and we all love YouTube and we all love learning, what most of us do. I'm here to share. Yeah, people want to know about timing when something will happen and you can't answer. Okay. It's the biggest question. And absolutely, I can give you timing, no problem, Jean Marie, on the actual spread. Okay. If we're just pulling a couple of cards, incredibly difficult, but if longest call for Emery was 6.5 hours, that's true. As in, I had a client from Jersey, and 6.5 hours, and Tony knows because he was the one that was knocking on the door, going, "Do you need a drink?" And me going, "I do need a drink," because of the depth. You can provide that depth, and people look at me as an in-depth reader and an in-depth teacher. Absolutely. But you know what? There's a million ways to do things, and that's what's so exciting about it. And the tarot has enhanced my life and our lives, and every decision we've ever made, we've looked at the tarot. Do not think I go, right, I'm not doing anything unless the tarot says. No, because the tarot actually helps me navigate my way. What obstacles, what challenges, what's the outcome, what other doors might it open, who might I meet, what might happen. But it doesn't always reveal everything to you in the go. The timing, in answer to that, your astrological signs. Okay? Your astrological sign is the answer. So, if you're looking at timing, if you've got a spread, and I'll give you the spread, one day I'll come on and just do a little spread. How about that? Yeah? So, Tony's telling you a little bit about my methods, so you can have a look at the comments later. But the timing, well, if somebody's asking something and you get the Temperance card, what's the astrological sign? Sagittarius. That's your timing. Okay. Now, if you've got lots of cards out in a spread, there is a specific place for the house of timing. Now, sometimes we know that we get a planet with one of our major cards, not an astrological sign. And so, in that regard, you don't have a major card to give you the timing. So the timing is the astrological sign. So with Temperance, it'll be in Sagittarius. With the Death card, it's in Scorpio. Okay, so I would, when I put my spread out, I'd look there. But if I'm just doing a quick sort of yes and no, I look at the minor cards. And so with the minor cards, it's the astrological. And with the major cards, it's the astrological sign. With the minor cards, okay, cups equals days. 1 cup, 1 day. 10 cups, 10 days. Okay? Wands equals weeks. You've got it. Ace of Wands, I beg your pardon. 1 week. Five of Wands, 5 weeks. Do you see where I'm going? Swords, no timing. Open, can't answer it. So quite often somebody will ask, and in the house of timing I get a planet like Neptune, because I've got the Hangman. I can't answer them. And I get the Swords. Sorry, darling. We're either going to have to reshuffle, which I'm happy to do, or I'm going to say to you, this is open. I cannot possibly tell you unless we reshuffle and we ask that question. And 9 times out of 10, you'll get a planet and you'll get the Swords. So Swords is open. No timing. And of course, Pentacles, months. Ace of Pentacles, 1 month. Nine of Pentacles, 9 months. If you think, and you're looking in your house of timing, that's odd, look for your nearest ace. Ace of Cups, 1 day. Ace of Wands, 1 week. Ace of Pentacles, 1 month. Ace of Swords, no timing. Sorry, darlings. Yeah, you see, I read this all the time. And you've got to go with what's comfortable for you, Sylvie, okay? But this works. I can tell you it works. You know, seriously, it works. And people come back and they give you the feedback and go, bang on, timing. When it comes to me, of course, hubby will always say, she's a couple of weeks out. Why? I think that's for us, as in to actually, we are careful, take our time, we're very mindful, we know what the cards are saying, and we don't just, I don't try and live my life by them, but I take their guidance and their advice, and I take responsibility with, and I thank them for the advice I've been given, and I navigate, and I go, what lessons do I need to learn? What do I need to know more of? What are you not going to tell me yet? Is this the first door I'm opening? You're making me do that, but you won't tell me what door 2 and 3 is. That's what's happened to me all the way through. But I made you go off tangent. That's the whole point. Can we go on about that devil card, is what that one used to say? Well, if it's relevant to this, that's why we do a workshop. That's what a workshop is. It's not going off tangent. I've covered the points, okay? So, isn't that exciting? The whole point is going off on tangent, okay? That's why they extend and keep coming back another 20 minutes, another 20 minutes, because they go off on a tangent because we've got something. And that's probably more important than anything. Going off on a tangent. Okay, some people get cross like I used to with the devil. Oh, come on, here we go again. She's asking that again. We answered it last week. Teddy thinks it's hysterical. I said to him, I can't go. I'm wasting half an hour every week. And he went, what about the minute that you're getting? And I went, well, it's more than a minute. It's an hour and a half that I get out of the 2 hours. And he went, see you later. Off you go and get qualified. So I did. Okay. And it was fabulous. And here we are. And I would never, without the tarot, I could not live where I live. I'd have to be a driving instructor, and I can't work in this country in that way. I can have my online business based in the UK, you know, that's fine. But the flexibility of being able to work remotely, and that's what I prayed for. Please, I want to live abroad. I've always wanted to live abroad, even as a little girl. Just wanted to live abroad. And it's like, right, what's stopping me is language barrier, which, quite honestly, you can get by, okay, or you can learn it, okay? But having a job that you can actually be anywhere, and quite honestly, I don't, but you could sit on the beach and read your cards and do a phone call with somebody, couldn't you? I tend not to because it can get a bit messy and reading your cards, and I always think, crikey, you know, there may be too much background noise, but you could, there's nothing to stop you, you know, if you can get the sound right. It's a fabulous job. And so, even if you just do it for yourself, and how did I do it? I used to say to friends, let me practice on one condition. I'll come and do your cards, okay? But, you know, just give me a token of appreciation of some sort. It's got to be a barter so that you don't feel drained by people. And they'd say, okay, buy a bottle of wine. I'd say, pay my petrol, you know, for me to get here. Just put a couple of quid in the car. it makes you feel as if there's something, or they go out and they're just going to get you something really nice. One girl used to say, well, I'll do your ironing for you. Brilliant deal, that. Okay, right, and that was a Sagittarius. Bernadette, if you're listening, that's you. Okay, I'm going to try and change scenes. And I'm going to show you we've gone on a little bit tonight, haven't we? Sorry. And I'm looking forward to my dinner tonight. That's another thing. Yeah, an exchange has to be. And you see, people respect it more when it's not just, if you sat there and went, oi lady, do you want a card? Do you want a card? Go away. Whereas if they come to you, you say, okay, take a seat. What would you like to know? How can I help you? Okay, this is how I work. And, okay, are we ready? Okay, give me a banana, give me an apple, whatever it is. Some sort of exchange so that you feel valued. Okay, no dinner tonight, Tenny's sad. Well, we've got a treat tonight, so there is some dinner, even if I'm making it. Well, we've got something really special from the UK that we can't normally get here. Right. Now, talking about that, are you all still there? I'm going to ask you something. One of the biggest things that you can do, and I've just talked about dinner, I'm going to show you these cards, but before I do, one of the biggest things you can do to actually tune in psychically, intuitively, is to approach the person that you're about to read for, or just practice for fun, like I'm going to tell you to, okay? And this is a good one. And you say, what would I give that person for dinner tonight? Now, don't think about what you think they look like or what they eat or anything like that. Don't think, oh, I bet they don't eat donuts, or I bet they don't eat this, I bet they don't eat trash, blah, 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 blah. Don't do that. Just think. Just let your mind go blank and go, I want to give you. Okay, Jean Marie, I'm going to say to you, I want to give you a traditional meal. Okay, something that would actually be, shall we say, for example, meat such as lamb, beef. It doesn't matter whether you like it or not. I'll tell you the point in a minute. Okay, something like your protein, as in steak or beef or ham or fish or chicken, whichever. Okay, something like that. And then for it to have something like potatoes and vegetables and maybe a side salad. Okay, and maybe even a bread roll. Okay, I'm going to pick someone else. Victor, I'd like to give you spaghetti bolognese. Okay, now Sylvie, I'd like to give you something like fish and a salad. Okay, I wonder if anybody's wondering why I'm saying that. Okay, spaghetti bolognese. Things can be jumbled, confused. Yeah, just like the, yeah. So we can turn around and just pull the strings and unravel it. So that's Victor. What I was genuinely feeling, you would like more clarity and you would like things to unravel a little bit. Jean Marie, I'm saying she's quite a traditional person, which is why I wanted to give her a traditional platter. Yeah, something very traditional in that. And with Sylvie, I wanted to give her something very simple, very elegant, very light. Does that make any sense? What do you think, guys? Sylvie, why do you say, I honestly think something, it's not what I think you want to eat. It's one of those things of saying something very gentle. Oh, you want to make me vegetable lentil soup. Wow, you see? She knows, okay, that I like the variety. Okay, and she also knows lentils. It's quite a simple thing, but it's full of protein. So getting it there, but also it's quite spicy as well, isn't it? I love that. I love spice. Gosh, and flavour. So yeah, I like mixtures. Spot on. You see? I'm right about one thing. I do love a more elevated palate. I don't eat seafood. It makes me sick. Yeah, it wasn't so much. That's why it's the simplicity of wanting to place one thing and then another. I didn't want to give you potatoes and vegetables, and you're different. I could feel there's something more simplistic. So it's just an expression. Do you see what I mean? It's not, that's why I said, do not think like that person. Sometimes you might say, oh, I want to turn around and give you a triple decker hamburger. Why? With cheese on it. Gosh, because there's so much going on there, so much variety. You see? So think what people want to eat. Don't try and look at their diet. Yeah? Just try and go. It's telling you something. Okay? So that's one of the tricks of how you do psychic development. Just walk around. Will you give them something very simple? Will you give them something to unravel? Will you give them something traditional? Would you give them, what about a hot pot, and a big pie? That's traditional again, something they need, something, of substance. Right, let's move on to these cards. I've been ages. Sorry. So much fun. Okay, so here I am, and I've got the cards. So let's have a little look at, there's a death card. Okay, there's another death card. And there's another one. And there's another one. Okay, so let me just move those out of the way so they're not confused. So, just different. All the death card, yeah, but they're different. Can you see what I'm saying? Oh, Anne-Marie, I sadly gotta go. But, oh, Victor, bless you for saying ta-ta. I'll see you soon. Hopefully see you Friday, 6:30, where we do some lives. Come in and have a reading, or just say hi, or watch the catch-up. Okay, if you're not interested in having a reading or whatever. But love to see you again. Thank you so much. Okay, lovely. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so yeah, this is what workshops are about. It's very relaxed. Okay, just sharing. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, death card here. This one comes from the Light Seers. So, very, very different, isn't it? Okay. And this one comes, oh crikey, I've got to reach. Sorry, not very elegant, is that? Is the lid? Let's move it out of the way. This one is obviously a Rider-Waite, but it's the plastic Rider-Waite. And you can wipe them clean, which when they get used like mine do, seriously, I've gone through so many decks. I know people say, oh, I've got the original. Crikey. No, they fall apart on me because they really do get used. Lovely. Okay, and this death card, look at her, look at that image. This one, transformation, seeing through the other side, yeah, going into the universe. This red makes me think of the power chakra. Here again, a bit like our PDF that I gave you. And this one, look, what's that? Some sort of animal, and going into the night and going for it and being very brave. So it can make you think very differently. And this death card, the mask, okay, going through change. So it's what works for you, okay? They're just different examples. And I do actually buy tarot decks so that I can use them for filming for exactly this, to actually try and show what's going on. I think I've got a hair on my camera up there because I said that to Tony, I must make sure I sort that out. And then we've got, I think that's right, the Everyday Witch card. Yeah. Okay, so different images, very different, but you wouldn't get all of that symbology with these wonderful decks. Nothing wrong with them. I'm not saying that. I absolutely implore you to actually go out there and go and choose and have so much fun and enjoy them. But if you feel that you can't get any depth from them and whatever, how different artists interpret death, absolutely. Absolutely. It really is. So, so, so much like that. I'm trying to work out what that is. Definitely something on my camera. I'm going to have to turn around and just sort that out. Okay, right. Let's have a look at Temperance then. And then we will let you all go. Ta-da! I'm a Rider-Waite purist. I can understand that. I know from your comments how much you love your Rider-Waite, and I can totally get that. There you go. Temperance, just very different. But you can see that maybe it could, not that you could go, oh my gosh, if you're an intuitive reader, you could go off there and go, right, you know what, there's all the stripy bits going on in this card, and that's what I'm feeling, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that this person is, you know, they like things very neat, they like things that seem to be organized, they are all about being able to look at things in neatness and tidiness, maybe small boxes. You know, the hat, what does that make you think of? The witch's hat. So there's some sort of, you know, intuition going on here, some wisdom going on here. You know, witches are, after all, the most amazing herbalists, you know, and able to do wonderful things. Look at this Temperance, you know, this Temperance. You know, honestly, with that one, I think I'd struggle, you know, a little bit. Of course, I know what the Temperance card is, but if it's the first time I looked at it, I think I'd go blank. So I love this deck, by the way, but you've got to make sure that something is working for you. And this Temperance card, beautiful, yeah? But look at how much is going on in this card and how much is going on in this card. Or maybe you like the minimalist. Maybe you actually just want to keep it really on point and just go with your intuition, or go with the symbology in the cards and then build. So whatever. That's the whole beauty, isn't it? My point is to show you what you might prefer. Okay? Right, my bunnies, I'm going to say good night, take care, and I'll see you on Friday, 6:30 for some live tarot and some pairs. Okay? Thank you so much for coming in. My special thanks to all of you. Love all your comments. It so helps. It's kind of hard when somebody doesn't comment. And yeah, we went off in tangents, and that's exactly what it's meant to be. It's what a workshop is. It's exploring. Okay? I'll see you Friday, and I'll see you one day next week. Never know which day I'm going to do this, so I always let you know as soon as I possibly know myself. All right? I'll try and put one in for next week, but Fridays is definitely time for live. So see you then, or the next time I do a workshop. Please do like, share, subscribe. It's all about sharing. It's helpful to me, of course, but it is super for people who would like to learn the tarot or have a reading, to know that I'm here and that you gorgeous guys are with me whenever you can. I love your company. Take care, speak soon. I'll see you Friday, if not next week. Bye.